A father in New Zealand who is wanted by police has been spotted together with his 3 children for the first time since they disappeared in 2021. Tom Phillips was spotted by hunters trekking through rugged terrain on New Zealand's North Island. Police launched a search for the group on Thursday, but they have not been seen since. Mr. Phillips was last sighted in November 2023 with just one of his children. He's wanted by police in connection with a bank robbery, and there was a warrant for his arrest for failing to show up to court for a different matter. Chelsea Daniels is a host of the New Zealand Herald's The Front Page podcast. She says police, like the rest of the world, have been left scratching their heads.
So the latest sighting, Tom and his kids were spotted by pig hunters in the Marokopa area at the beginning of October, actually this month. The first time they've been seen together since they went missing in December 2021. Now, they were wearing camo gear, hiking through farmland, carrying backpacks. Police and air support, including an Air Force helicopter, were sent to the area, but found nothing after 3 days. And the kid's mother was, of course, very happy, though, to see all of the children together.
Yeah, it's quite amazing how they still can't be found. But what's happening at this moment right now with police and how far are they from catching up to Tom Phillips and those 3 children?
Well, your guess is as good as mine, and I think the police is as well. This has been going on for nearly 3 years now. You have to remember as well, Tom and the kids actually first went missing in September 2021, which sparked a major search near that Marokopa area. But 3 weeks later, they rocked up at the family's farmhouse. Now, he was charged with wasting police resources because that sparked a massive search. He was charged. He was due in court. He didn't rock up to court. Why? Because he'd taken the kids again, and that was December 2021. So it's not until August last year until we get some sightings of him. He's seen in a Toyota Hilux ute going to Bunnings, buying some seedlings, gumboots, that kind of thing, something that a father would do for a camping trip for a weekend perhaps. And then in September last year, I nearly fell off my chair because we got a police email through to the newsroom, and it was a warrant out for Tom Phillips' arrest. But what for? Alleging he robbed a bank in Te Kuiti. 2 people, both armed, entered, demanded cash, and fled on a farm-style motorbike. That takes us up to the latest sighting this month, and that's what sparked the nation's interest and the world's interest, in fact, again.
And given those allegations there about the bank robbery, how desperate do we think Tom is? And in that desperation, of course, is also the fact that the children are out there, and I'd imagine there'd be a lot of concerns for their welfare because they are still quite young.
Absolutely. I mean, the 3 children are all young. They've been out there for nearly 3 years now. And I don't know if you've got siblings, but I do. And I can't imagine 3 years in the bush with my siblings as a teenage girl with my father. I mean, it must just be bedlam. They're missing out on schooling. Psychologists have said these are incredibly formative years for the 3 of them as well, and there's major concern. But what did come from that latest sighting, though, was the fact that it was the first time we saw them all together, which is good news in a sense because we know that they're all still alive, essentially. Their mother, the kid's mother, Kat, has spoken with media since this last sighting. She was actually in our office the other day speaking with one of my colleagues here at the Herald. She says Tom's robbing the kids of their childhood, and she wouldn't wish her situation on her worst enemy. She was emotional because when she saw those images of the 3 kids and Tom in that farmland carrying their backpacks in camo gear, she felt relief. They were alive. She said it was overwhelming. It was the best thing. And she just broke down. She can't see their faces, but she could see them walking. She could see they're all there and that they're all capable of carrying their own bags. And she knew instantly that it was her children. And after a 3-day search, like I said, including of a military helicopter, still nothing since.
And Chelsea, what do we know about Tom and his life that might inform us about why he's disappeared?
Well, we know that he is an incredibly capable bushman. He has been known to go out into the bush on separate occasions and live off the land, so to speak. So there are people out there that are saying, good on him. The public's really divided here in New Zealand, actually. You've got a lot of comments saying good on him for being a father and creating this experience for his children. But then now it's getting to the point, it's ticking over 3 years now in December. And people are saying, look, that there is actually incredible concern for the kids' welfare, not to mention in all these conversations that people keep forgetting that he's wanted for a bank robbery as well. He's wanted for, he's known to have be armed. So there is great concern about where the kids are. And of course, Marokopa is a small community. So like people say, well, why don't they throw drones up in the air? Why don't they ask Elon to use a satellite or something, But if you type in Google Maps, for instance, Marokopa, you'll just see green. It's very, very dense bushland. It's the type of place that if you weren't an experienced bushman, you would get lost. And nobody would find you.
Yes, there's only so far technology can go. But can you give us a sense of how this has captivated New Zealanders, particularly in the North Island? Are members of the public on the lookout as well?
Absolutely. And of course, the police have said, look, don't go out there because, like I said, this is very, very dense. It's like going into the middle of Australia, without any supplies or anything. You need to be very, very experienced to be able to encounter these harsh conditions. Back in June, actually, the police offered up an $80,000 reward for information that would lead to the safe return of the children. The offer included, though, consideration of immunity against prosecution for anyone potentially assisting Phillips. And that lasted 2 weeks to no avail. Now, I will say, though, that's pretty specific disclaimer from the police. It's not usual that they would advertise that last point of immunity from prosecution. So I would bet that they think that someone out there knows something.
Yeah, it's an intriguing story that's going to keep developing. Chelsea Daniels, thanks very much.
No worries.